What's up, you guys? Team APS is here doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Hot takes. I haven't seen them yet. I don't know how bad they are.
I haven't read them either.
These are straight from Twitter. If you haven't already, subscribe and like the video and hit the notification bell. Konami keeps printing busted cards that they know are inevitably going to get banned. Not just to get people to buy new product, but also to create controversy and create hype. And I don't think that this is a bad thing, to an extent.
Of course. That's a common business model.
I mean, they could just like not print them,
and then
you'll be mad.
And then you won't buy them.
What if all cards were just like decent and lukewarm? Where's the hype?
Then this game would get stale and no one will play.
So really, that's a proper business practice.
Like, people will continue to play the old stuff that you're tired of playing against.
Mm-hmm. And then we don't move forward.
But this person did say that they
agree.
Yeah, they don't think it's a bad thing.
They don't think it's
I don't
a
think
bad
his
thing.
opinion is just business.
Yeah.
Business.
I think controversy, that sells. I don't think they expect for people to like light pitchforks and get like angry.
But they know it's gonna get you talking.
If there are no like draw cards in the next set, there's no point in you buying the next set.
Like, and I'm sure Konami has an entire department, like, just like, okay, what can we do to get people talking?
That's why cards.
And it's their job to talk about it and do things that will get you talking.
That's why cards that we see released, we get sneak peeks of like months in advance. That's why we see those, and then we don't see them again for 6 or 7 months or a year until we get it. It's cards like Needle Fiber and things like that. Like, they made cards like that because they know it was broken.
Ooh.
They know how good that card was, and they know eventually they're gonna have to release it in a set that they can't really sell without it.
But I think they also are very timely with when they release stuff. Like, they know, like a year ago they couldn't have released Needle Fiber.
Yeah.
It would have been crazy.
We were still fresh off like Firewall and stuff.
They waited until it was like, okay, now we can kind of release it, and it won't be as busted. Still busted. But
hey,
we can deal with that later.
So overall, I don't really think this is controversial. I think it's just kind of like, it's a thing they do.
Yeah. Mystic Mine isn't bad for the game, but in fact is good for it. I love how people use capitals when they put emphasis on things. It being in the format keeps people honest and promotes more diverse and balanced deck building. Maybe start banning spell and trap removal if you hate it that much, instead of pissing, moaning, and scooping.
I think this person started by thinking a little bit too hard.
You play Mystic Mine, don't you?
He does.
Most definitely.
It's not bad for the game. It's not good for the game. It's like it's a card, and it is a strategy. Do people like that strategy?
They can get rid of it.
I guess my issue with Mystic Mine, more than anything else, is just that it's boring.
It is.
Cause like,
but it is a strategy.
It's a strategy, but I feel like cards should just be more. Okay, fair enough. I just feel like cards should be it should be fun, and Mystic Mine isn't. And it's like the first or one of the first times where a card isn't fun, but it's also like consistent and really hard to deal with.
But I'll raise you this argument. Is 15 negate boards fun playing games?
All right, fair.
It is when you break them.
If you can
That's
break them.
if you have enough ways to break it, but if you don't.
I mean,
because think about it, you put in all that time, you make your turn. If you break it, it feels like it's worth it. But if you don't break it, you just wasted your time.
Just
and
like
you
kind
want to
of Mystic Mine. If you got that spell trap removal, blank your Mystic Mine. If you don't, we just gonna be sitting here.
So maybe the problem isn't Mystic Mine, but more so the game that we currently play. Like the way that we win, the way that we lose.
Seems like it's either
it's not really built for Mystic Mine.
It's not. This game is.
And I don't think it has a place right now.
This game is NASCAR. Mystic Mine is that one pothole that's in the road.
Listen, I got the one.
If you
I got the one.
If not,
I got the one opinion that'll probably make both of you guys change your mind about this. I think Mystic Mine is bad for the game, and I'll tell you why. Not only do you have those decks that can make 15 negate boards, you also have those decks that can set up 4 traps and then play Mystic Mine. Or you got decks that can make full boards, and just in case that board gets outed, they have Mystic Mine.
I would say in those cases, they should be playing Tier 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! And at that point, if your deck is as good as it's supposed to be, you should be out it.
I don't think we need Mystic Mine. Just simple as that. Like, think of decks like Striker, for instance.
Right.
Like, it's a control-based deck. It can play its game, but it can also play Mystic Mine.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's annoying.
Mystic Mine is probably unnecessary, but it is here.
That part of the game is annoying to me, and I don't feel like cards like Mystic Mine deserve to be at 3. Put it to 1.
Yeah, then we'll see who plays it.
Then we'll see who plays it. Because, you know...
Heck, somebody will still run it.
Some people will still run it, but like you're more... I mean, you know... At that point, then they got the removal for it. They're just not getting it back.
And he's out the 1 copy, and that's a wrap.
So, that's a wrap. Right. So put the 1.
It's literally just a fact. Men need to learn that women play Yu-Gi-Oh! And you shouldn't act any different than if you were playing another guy. With my locals, this is no issue, thankfully. And I love and miss my boys dearly, but large events like YCS and qualifiers are a huge issue.
Listen, if you're out there treating girls this way, that play Yu-Gi-Oh!, you're a scum. You're scummy. I hate to say it like that because you might not feel like you are, but you are.
In what way?
Don't be sexist.
Well, like, see, that's actually not what I even got from
I didn't get that they were being sexist. I got that they were like
they were awkward.
They were awkward. And they don't know how to talk.
Yeah, but she also said like, thankfully I never had anything gross happen to me.
Yeah. So, like, because no one's gonna be like, oh, because if someone goes up to a girl who's at a Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing like, oh my goodness, let me touch you or something.
Or say something
like,
inappropriate.
Yeah, that person needs to be thrown out immediately.
Some of the stuff I've heard people say to us, I can only imagine what they'll say to a girl.
With that in mind, y'all need to stop.
Y'all need to stop.
But in this case, with what she's talking about, I think it's more so guys being uncomfortable because they don't know how to interact. And at that point,
bless their heart.
I just think Yu-Gi-Oh! Players just need to be more educated about like how to deal with like women and in this space.
Most Yu-Gi-Oh! players, I mean, they're not very social. If that was the case, they would have done it already.
And Yu-Gi-Oh's been a safe haven for a lot of guys who are just awkward and shy and stuff.
But what we need to do is we need to do a better job making it more of a safe haven for women that do want to play this game. Because it's not only guys that like it. You know, I know we do.
Yeah, and let's.
Or do you think the atmosphere and the culture is just so like not appealing to
cultures can change.
It's full of testosterone.
Cultures can change.
Full of very sweaty men.
Yeah, it's true, and sadly that's the reality of it now. But like I said before, only thing we can really do as a community, as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Community, is make everybody feel comfortable when they want to come play the game. That's the only thing we can do.
We'll just have to do better.
You know, and treat people how you want to be treated. And if you want to be treated horribly, don't treat them horribly. You know, so that's all I got for that one.
Market watches are the laziest, most boring videos in the community that provide nothing. That's a hot take.
Disagree.
Ooh, you disagree?
I disagree with the part that they don't provide anything.
No, I mean
they provide information.
Like think of it like Yu-Gi-Oh! Stock market.
Yeah.
Some people
I will say this,
enjoy
and I think,
I mean, they enjoy watching the prices fluctuate. See what they can invest.
I will say this, because I know me and Paul had the conversation before. Like, I don't think there should be so many. Like, the card prices only like if everybody does a market watch every couple days, card prices aren't changing that much. You know, it's different. So it's like kind of getting the same information from too many different people, and you know, it is kind of pointless at that point. But like I said, I don't feel like it provides nothing because it does.
So you say there are good market watchers, but don't oversaturate it with everyone trying to guess how the market's gonna be.
Yeah, because at that point you're just copying your content.
I guess my opinion on it is like I personally don't enjoy like market watches. That no shots at anyone who does.
Like, I legit only watch one.
Making them.
Who's that?
I'll tell you later.
As far as market watches being lazy, I mean, they still do take out their time to actually look at the price movements of these cards. Mm-hmm. Is it the most high effort thing they could be doing with their time? No, but they're doing it, so I wouldn't call that the laziness.
Like, you know, being a little bit more creative with the content. Like, I will say it's not, market watch isn't the most creative, but I'm not going to sit here and say it's lazy because they do have to spend their time to do it.
It does serve, because I mean, everyone who kind of complains about that, you know, you pay attention. Card prices. You do.
I only really pay attention when it's a card that I want, but I guess to each their own. Some people care about more cards, some people care about fewer cards. Yeah. He also says they're the most boring videos, and that's completely subjective. I find them boring, but you guys have watched market watches, right?
I get some pleasure finding out.
I was gonna say yes.
You know, like I get a little bit of pleasure finding out that the card that I bought for $5 just went up to $50. You know, that's cool to me.
When the person provides like valid reasons as to why they believe something is going to go up and go down, and they go into it and expand on it, and they're able to properly, okay, I can see what that
Those are good
person
market watchers.
is talking about. I can see why you can see, okay, this possibly could be trending upward because X, Y, and Z is coming out soon. And
but I'm not just watching market watch.
I'm not
entertainment.
like those people who just, buy this because I said so.
Yeah, that's just irresponsible. Konami needs to slow down with the product releases. It's become way too much and a lot harder to keep up with product releases like almost every other week, especially with useless products like Dragons of Legend, the complete series, etc.
Now, I don't believe any product is useless. Some are just valued more than others.
This is coming from Larry in the hole himself.
He buys more product than anyone I know.
I disagree that they need to slow down. Because they did slow down, you would complain.
Fair enough.
That comes out of every article. Like if they did the opposite, you would just complain.
Yeah,
so.
you would complain. There's not enough stuff coming out. Oh, I'm tired of playing against Salaman Great.
Don't
Something new needs to come out. Let them release the product.
And then something new comes out, and then you back to playing the same old thing.
Now, I actually agree with this.
Get out.
We just have, this is a lot of cards that come out, most of which aren't impactful or even memorable.
Wait, you say you agree?
Yeah. I said go ahead and slow down. Let's have more meaningful cards. But again, I'm also not the biggest card buyer.
I was gonna say, when they're gonna slow down?
When
people stop buying it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Ain't
That's
no point
true.
then.
Until then, they just gonna keep printing off that cardboard money.
And with that logic, you pretty much gotta look at it as you're still buying it. People are still buying it. Like I know a guy right now at my locals who just buys every product and he goes all in on all of it until he gets what he wants. Instead of just buying buying a single. Hate to say that, but that's what he does.
I kind of hate all of the meta-analysis info and videos right after big tournaments. Like, imagine if that didn't happen, if there were no first place, insert name, deck profile, broken videos. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be more fun, although I 10,000% understand why it's done, especially in current Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, that's why we're glad you watch Team APS, because we don't post that stuff. And it's perfectly fine to post it.
And again, some people are into it.
Yeah, and a good meta-analysis is a good meta-analysis. It'll give information that people need.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of them.
Especially when, there's one event and you get the top 8 deck profiles out of that event, but you also get like
15 others that
place number 45
Here's this
on
random,
the bubble.
That random thing that just happened to work.
I was one
3
game
times
away
today.
from topping this, and now I'm an expert on this deck because I came in 45th place and I didn't get my invite. Those type videos are annoying. I do agree with you on that when it comes to that, but I do think there's a big place for it in Yu-Gi-Oh! We don't necessarily make
we focus more on the entertainment aspect of it.
Yeah.
But I've noticed with these opinions, I think 2 of them now have kind of been hitting at these informational style Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos. These aren't really entertainment style videos like this or Market Watch.
News.
They're trying to tell you something, teach you something.
Exactly.
And that's perfectly fine. I guess you don't have to find them exciting because they're trying to relay information.
I mean, if you don't like it, don't watch it.
One thing I would recommend that everybody do, if you follow on YouTube, is don't. It's kind of bad to say this, but don't try to follow everybody and what they post.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Find the ones that make that content the best and support those people. If you want to support everybody, go ahead, but you don't really have to subscribe to everybody. Because like I said, a lot of them are posting the same stuff.
Too much legacy support. Once in a while.
Hold on, let me stop it here.
Nope, give me the phone. Okay. Once in a while, it's fine as a special thing, but I really don't need Dark Magician Blue Eyes, Red Eyes version X every year. That same energy could go to deck building packs, which benefits newer and older players, plus and explore underused types like Pyro and Reptile.
I just knew they was going to talk about volcanics,
I want to talk about it.
but now I read the name. I was like, that's not him. Go ahead, Larry.
I want to talk about it.
Go ahead, Larry. What you got to say?
Well, I say, as a fan of old school Yu-Gi-Oh, I used to like legacy support,
Choose your words carefully.
but we're at the point where we've made legacy, things like Dark Mission, Blue Eyes, and Red Eyes have had so much of it. I don't think we really need any more of it, honestly.
It gets really annoying sometimes when you like when I go to tournaments, I have to play against like Dark Magician, and I'm just like, what does this card do? Because they've got a new card out of the last set, and the one before that, and the one before that. So I do agree they do need to slow down a little bit, but like, don't ever think they're gonna get rid of legacy support, because it's not gonna happen. Too many people support it, and it's good that they support it, because I put it like this: not every set that they release is gonna be Rise of the Duelists. There are gonna be some products that they release that it's gonna come out and it's just not gonna appeal to how you play this game or what you look for in this game. So that's what the legacy support is there for the people who like to collect, people who like the lore of Yu-Gi-Oh, people who want to continue to see the 15th version of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon.
Yeah.
So
we don't need
Lord be still my heart.
No.
You know,
Hey.
Nostalgia sales.
exactly.
It does.
Nostalgia sales. Do they go overboard with some of it? I'll admit yes. But for every one person who's tired of legacy support, there are like 3 who can't wait.
Who can't wait for it.
Dark Magician.
I don't mind
So-
legacy support. It's just Dark Magician, Red Eyes, Blue Eyes. Let's go ahead and retire that.
They're not.
There are
OGs.
many other archetypes in anime.
That's like Pokemon saying, "Okay, we're done with Pikachu. Never
That's
again.
facts. That's true.
We're done with Pikachu."
That's true. And every once in a while, you get a good one like Dragoon. So, I'm not mad at it.
It's gonna end up on the ban.
I'm not mad at it. Slow it down some. If I can make one recommendation, which they're probably not listening to me, but if they slowed it down some, it'll be okay still. So.
And stop short printing all of it. But that's a whole other opinion.
That's a whole nother thing. That's our hot take.
YouTubers telling small Yu-Gi tubers that being unique will get them views is bad advice because viewers don't want unique videos unless it's from someone who is popular. The reason deck profiles and meta-analysis vids do so well is because that is what viewers want. Question.
There were two big parts.
Yo, do deck profiles do that well?
Kinda.
I mean, they do okay.
I mean,
Like a month.
every person who wants to build a deck will go out and find that deck profile. So
And like-
there's a place for them. I mean, but with our meta constantly changing, it's like you do a deck profile one week and then next week it's something completely different.
And then you also gotta look at the fact, like, okay, with deck profiles, if 50 people post a deck profile, I only need to see it twice.
Sure.
Yeah, at best, really.
See what I'm saying? So
And then you'll pick the ones with more views, right?
90% of those cards are going to be the same.
I hate to discourage anybody who wants to create content about Yu-Gi-Oh, but this is Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, if it really comes down to it, it's really just Yu-Gi-Oh.
And then deck profiles, it's a tough game to get into. It's
Exactly.
competitive. You gotta compete with everybody who used to do deck profiles and are really popular. You gotta deal with all the new people who want to do it.
Excuse me.
Okay, I see.
That's tough.
Because y'all answered the second one. I want to answer this one.
All right,
Go
what you
for it.
got?
The big Yu-Gi tubers telling small Yu-Gi tubers that being unique will get them views is bad advice. That's, again, subjective. Because, I mean, if you're unique and somebody likes your uniqueness, they're going to watch you.
That's
I
true.
mean,
And,
if you're unique and somebody's not into your brand of unique, they're probably not going to.
That's also true.
And you
Viewers
can
don't
get
want
unique
unique
doing-
videos. I mean, everyone is different. I may not like the same stuff that, what's your name? that Alec likes, but that doesn't like change who we are. And every person who was ever famous at one point in their life was unpopular or not famous. So
And you can
you
be
gotta
unique
build
in
somewhere.
doing what everyone else does too. I mean,
do what you want.
because
Also-
you can make deck profiles, but if you're a unique character and present it in a unique way,
People
then
people
you will
flood
get
to you.
more views than
true.
people who are doing it the exact same traditional way.
As everybody else.
It sounds like hubris when we say it because we're a larger channel, but we say that because it's true.
But you also gotta go back and look at where we came from when it comes to just before, like, a lot of us were even on this channel.
Paul plucked me off the street.
Exactly. Like, you gotta look at it like we making deck profiles at one point. It got to a point where we realized like you got to evolve with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can start off by doing deck profiles and making informational type videos. But if that's not helping you grow, then yeah, it might be a good thing to evolve and make something else. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that you're right or wrong about like the second part of this, but like the whole like, you know, telling people that being unique will get them views. That's not a like.
It's like us saying, "Hey, be yourself." I don't want to be myself.
I kind of agree with you with that because only being unique is not what's going to get you views. You have to be unique. You have to be consistent.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be appealing. You have to be. You have to do something that's going to make people. That's going to appeal to people. It's more than just being unique.
No, say just the fact of you being unique does not mean
that's not the only
that people should flood to you and watch you. That's not the
correct
mindset.
And look, y'all, this is Yu-Gi-Tube. There are no participation trophies.
Yeah.
Link, Xyz, Synchro, Pendulum cards are actually cool and didn't ruin the game. However, Konami has been pretty irresponsible with using these mechanics.
This may be one. I do agree with this.
Yeah.
You agree?
They can be somewhat irresponsible with how certain card mechanics are made and how they function in relation to themselves and others.
Right.
I don't think like the actual summoning mechanics themselves are a problem. They're new additions to the game that's supposed to change it up, make it more spicy and more different. But some cards in those veins have been like, okay, like Needlefire, like what were you thinking making, well, I don't say what were you thinking making this card, but like this card is like fundamental to is a big thing, and there's no way you made this not thinking.
I'm not even gonna get like that deep into like certain cards, and because they're like looking like just the mechanic itself.
The mechanics themselves.
Like when it comes to just the mechanic itself, Link summoning crippled everything.
Yeah. And they knew
in its own, and they knew that, and I don't think it was a coincidence that it came right after Pendulums, because like I said, Pendulums did change the game.
Make everything.
Whether you believe it or not, Pendulums changed the game.
We can go further than that, because even when synchros were introduced, that things changed. Now things were starting to go to graveyard proactively instead of reactively, because a fusion summon was still hard to pull off. You had to get the right monsters. A synchro summon was any tuner and the necessary levels. All of a sudden, things that had effects when it went to graveyard, you could do that yourself and just start making plays. And then Xyz monsters like, oh yeah, these materials aren't actually like sent from field to grave, but
you can still get sometimes good effects.
You can still certain effects you can still get, certain effects you can't. And it's like, maybe they knew, maybe they didn't. But every time they introduce a new summoning mechanic, cards that we just have in the game, some get broken and some become useless.
They're irrelevant. Like overnight.
But my main thing is, I'm not gonna sit here and say that they're bad mechanics. Ever, because like I said, I do feel like every one of them was an improvement on the last. But like I said, when we did get the Links did come at a time where it crippled
everything else.
But
they wanted you to play those.
But you look at it, Pendulum didn't cripple Synchro. No. Synchro didn't.
Really, Pendulum promoted Synchros and Xyz. Some of the monsters, Xyz, Synchro.
Exactly,
Xyz, Synchro,
like that didn't happen until we got the Links, and when we got the Links, it crippled Pendulum. But I think everyone was I think a lot of people were in agreement that it was healthy.
Oh, you mean at that point, Pendulums had gotten so outrageous that it was
But at the same time, actually, they haven't even printed many Pendulums.
They haven't.
So we say it crippled Pendulum, but that they already banned and they did everything they could to Pendulums.
Yeah.
Maybe if we got new Pendulums, it wouldn't even be that bad. Running staples in a deck just to be competitive / counter Xyz or XYZ deck absolutely kills creativity. When every deck is a 3 Ash, other hand traps, plus engine, it makes me want to cry.
I'm rolling my eyes.
I will say,
what you want? You want Maxi?
I was gonna say, it sounds like this person is very salty that they get ashed every game.
I think this is more of like a competitive player's mindset.
Is it really?
If you think
because the competitive player is gonna play 3 Ash, and you're gonna play 3 Vegas.
But if you think about it, what type of creativity do you have in your deck when really like your strongest deck is just your engine, and then all the things you have to run to counter everyone else? I mean, it is kind of boring if you're gonna sit on these high tables.
Why are there different types of cars when all of them have an engine and 4 tires?
I mean, but should Ash and like all these other hand traps be our tires?
They are.
They are now, but it's like, what type of creativity is there in Yu-Gi-Oh? If like, you have to have these 4 tires on your card.
And these are the things, like, these are strong cards that work. They're the staples. They're the bread and butter. They're the cards okay, if my opponent does this, I can do this and stop them from doing that.
I guess at the
They
same
do
time,
it.
they've always been
and
staples
they're not
too.
restrictive
You
to
know what?
whatever,
Like-
I guess, archetype you're playing.
What I want to say,
What you want to say?
creativity and Yu-Gi-Oh. At what point did
Oh,
that start going hand in hand?
you saying people just throw that word creativity out
They
there?
throw it out a
loosely?
lot, and I feel like,
Like, oh, they're not creative. They're
yeah, I mean, I feel like, I mean, at some point somebody's creative, but like once that deck is created, it's not created again. It's copied.
Everybody copies it.
It's
and
copied.
so-
So like, when people say there's no creativity in Yu-Gi-Oh, I mean, I think it's been
I
that
think-
way since the beginning of time.
I guess maybe the word a lot of people might
There's
want
a
to
little
use
bit.
instead of creativity is flexibility. But then couldn't you even just say that instead of like, you know, if you're playing in a tournament, are you really even playing against your opponent's deck, or are you playing against which of their staples they saw?
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Because like cards like
Because
Nibiru
I'm-
are so powerful.
Because you also gotta look at,
because some. Well, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, because you also gotta look at like, I mean, you're playing against your opponent too, because like some people would just reactively activate something at the wrong time. I mean, so like I said, I mean that comes down to like the whole skill aspect of the game, as opposed to the deck building aspect of the game. Like you're not playing against that deck, you're playing against that player who has that deck.
And also,
So-
like, and the opposite, like if you're playing against that person, and you do get Astra Valor, you have to know how to properly keep going.
That's true. If
I
you
mean,
can.
It's
I mean,
it's a big if they did it right.
If they did, I mean, because if you get Ash, and he's like, I can't do anything. I mean, is that his problem or is that yours?
Exactly. So I don't 100% agree with that last one.
Trade binders are becoming obsolete because more people are selling off cards and buying what they need. However, building a collection binder has been getting a bump. I feel most collect certain cards, and once the binder is full, they sell it to the highest bidder.
I mean, it depends on the purpose in which that person.
So I
builds their
think
binder.
basically, I think basically this hot take is that people don't trade anymore.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. People don't trade
yeah.
anymore. I don't think
Trading
this is a
isn't
hot take. I
really
think
a
it's just
thing.
something that we've observed in the game.
It's all about
Do you think
cash money.
trading has become obsolete?
You know, I mean, like I said, I don't like. I usually never find trades when I'm looking for them.
I was gonna say, is that the problem? Like why would I wait around for someone to magically have that card that I need when
I
can
got
just,
$5.
When I can just
And then
You know?
cards have market
$20
values
is $20.
depending on what you use. And like getting that perfect trade where like, oh, I feel like this is a good value,
It's
and they say
still
I got this
very
good value.
satisfying, but it's
And
so rare to.
It's
happen.
hard to like match that up nowadays.
Yeah.
Every card's got a dollar value. You can just sell those cards, get the dollar value you need, and then buy the card you want.
And it also speaks to the economy we're in right now, where everybody can make money. Like just realistically, like, and us just so happening to play Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, we have that avenue where we could actually go out and make money. So while we trade, we can just make money for the cards we have.
Now, I'll say on collection binders, I don't sell collection binders. Those are mine. All right, y'all can't have them.
But when he's ready to sell it, he's gonna sell it.
I'm not ready to sell
I
ever.
got a hot take. Do you think the Yu-Gi-Oh! Third-party market has killed trading?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I think it was kind of necessary.
Was it
Like-
necessary, or was it just like
Like-
it was something that progressed so
Like
much to where it just happened?
before there was a so-called market.
Before every card had a price value attached to that card.
But it
I think
also
every card. I
means-
think every card always had a price value. I just feel like it wasn't known, and like information is key. So I feel like at one point when that information became available to everybody all the time, then yeah, that killed the trade game. Like you can find trades every once in a while, but for the most part, people are gonna want that money.
And the reason I say it's necessary is because
It's also a lot easier to
the third
buy it.
party aftermarket, whatever you want to call it, those people that enables everybody to get any card they want. The barrier is money. That's a real thing you're upset about, is you don't have enough money to get a certain card. But if you were just hounding for trades, the cards still had value. People weren't just gonna let you get off like a trade when you get over on them. Not gonna trade a $100 card for your like two $20 cards. It's not gonna happen. Even if they want them, they're just not gonna do it. So that's why I call it necessary, because with this system, I can get any card I want.
Yep.
Like as long as I can get the money together.
Yep.
And how
If you
hard
want
is
a
that?
crush card,
It can be very
If you
hard.
want the crush card or the Cyberstein that costs a ton of money. You can get it. You probably can't trade for it.
There's nothing stopping you from
It's
getting
probably
it.
really hard to trade for it.
It's an
today.
investment.
But guess what? If you got the money to buy it,
And probably that person who has it in their
It can be
binder, they ain't
something.
gonna trade it to you anyway.
exactly.
Yeah.
They're probably not even in that
It's
binder.
a status symbol. or some people's binder status symbols. I've seen that to where it's like you be like, oh, anybody
Listen,
have any
you just
trades?
stuck with it.
Listen,
they
that can be a whole
give you a
that can-
binder.
That can be a whole video on its own. Like just like that binder being a status symbol. Like I literally had a person didn't know what a car does. I asked him to sell it to me. I said I'll give you this much for it. He's not gonna use it ever. But since I wanted it,
That made it have value.
he's not getting rid of it
It became
because somebody
priceless.
wants it now. So it's like that's
Yep.
that's Yu-Gi-Oh. So
That's Yu-Gi-Oh! And those are all of our hot takes, guys. What did you think about those hot takes? What are your opinions? Heck, give us some more hot takes in the comments if you want.
yeah, because we're gonna make another one of these videos.
We will.
Paul doesn't beat us.
And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed and hit the notification bell. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Pass turn.